Airports are like well-oiled machines, but behind the scenes, there's a world of secrets you're never told. In this video, we're revealing 10 airport secrets that most passengers never hear about, but definitely should. From what really happens to your checked luggage, to the truth about flight delays, gate changes, and insider travel tricks the staff won't admit, this is the kind of info that could save you time, money, and stress. Ever wonder why boarding feels chaotic? Or why airport food is so expensive? We've got the answers. Whether you're a frequent flyer or planning your first trip, these hidden truths will change the way you travel forever. So buckle up and get ready to uncover the realities of airport life that airlines and airports would rather keep under wraps. Once you know these secrets, you'll never look at air travel the same way again. Let's dive into the first one. It's rideshare ripoffs. They hope you don't notice. Think your Uber or Lyft fare from the airport is just about distance and time? Think again. Airports have quietly added rideshare surcharges that most people don't even notice until they check their receipt later. And by then, it's too late. These fees can seriously add up, and no one at the airport is rushing to tell you about them. Take Boston Logan International Airport, for example. They slap on a $3.25 fee per ride. That means if you take a rideshare to and from the airport, you're down an extra $6.50 just for the privilege of getting picked up and dropped off. Hartsfield-Jackson in Atlanta, even worse, $3.00, $85 per ride. And no, this doesn't go to your driver. It's just the airport's way of milking a little more cash out of passengers who are already paying plenty. These surcharges are buried in the fine print, and they're rarely disclosed up front. Rideshare apps don't flash a warning or explanation, they just quietly add the fee. You only realize what happened when you check the breakdown later, and most travelers don't bother looking that deep into their receipts. So how do you avoid this shady surcharge? It's actually simpler than you think. Walk away, literally. If you walk just a block or two outside of the airport property, the fee vanishes. Order your rideshare once you're off the grounds and you'll avoid the entire extra charge. It takes a little effort, but if you're traveling light and the weather's decent, it's money straight back in your pocket. Another solid hack? Use a free hotel shuttle to leave the airport zone first. Plenty of nearby hotels run frequent, no-cost shuttles to and from the terminals. Hop on, ride a few minutes, then request your rideshare from the hotel. No airport fee. Same app, same driver pool, but none of the hidden gouging. Bottom line, airports are charging you for standing on their property while you wait for a car. It's not about security, convenience, or traffic. It's about squeezing extra dollars from travelers who are too rushed or too tired to notice. Don't be one of them. 2. The drop-off and pickup scam no one talks about. If you've ever sat in a bumper-to-bumper line just trying to drop someone off at the airport, or worse, pick them up while security glares at you to move along, you know the chaos that is airport traffic. But here's the truth. Most of that congestion is self-inflicted by poor planning and herd mentality. And no, the airport isn't going to help you out. They benefit from the mess. It drives more people to use paid parking or premium curbside services. But smart travelers know there's a workaround, and it's absurdly simple. Flip the levels. In the morning, when the departures level is slammed with people rushing to catch flights, the arrivals level is nearly deserted. Why? Because hardly anyone is arriving early in the day. That's when you should do your drop-offs. Pull up to arrivals, unload, and leave without dealing with the usual circus. And when it comes to picking someone up, you guessed it, go to the departures level. In the afternoon and evening when most flights are coming in, the arrivals curb is a madhouse. Drivers double park, airport staff bark orders, and security inches closer every second. But upstairs on the departures level, it's much calmer. Fewer people, less pressure, and plenty of space to stop, grab your person, and get out. It's not illegal. You're not breaking rules. The signage might nudge you in a certain direction, but airport staff know what's going on, and many of them use this trick themselves. You just have to be confident and quick. Tell your passenger where to meet you, upstairs or downstairs depending on the time. Keep the engine running and coordinate by phone if needed. This tactic doesn't just save time, it saves stress and potentially parking fees. Sitting in your car waiting at arrivals? Security will move you along and you might end up circling endlessly or getting pushed into short-term parking. That's money wasted. By switching levels and staying smart, you stay in control. Airports thrive on chaos, and they don't care if you're stuck in the middle of it. Don't follow the crowd. Outsmart the system. 3. Lost and Found, the free tech lending library. Let's be blunt. Airport lost and found counters are gold mines of unclaimed stuff. And most travelers have no idea they can actually benefit from them, even if they didn't lose anything. We're talking about bins full of phone chargers, USB cables, travel adapters, power banks, even noise-canceling headphones. Thousands of travelers leave these behind every week, and most never come back for them. The dirty little secret is that a lot of this gear ends up sitting in lost and found purgatory until it's eventually auctioned off, discarded, or quietly handed over to airport staff. But before that happens, you can take advantage of it if you know how to ask. Let's say your phone is dying and you forgot your charger. You don't have to pay $40.00 for a cheap knockoff at the airport electronics kiosk. Instead, walk up to the lost and found and ask nicely if they have a spare charger you can borrow while you're in the terminal. More often than not, they'll hand you one. No forms, no drama. Just a polite ask, a friendly smile, and boom, you've got power. Same goes for headphones, travel pillows, even lightweight jackets or umbrellas on rainy days. It's not a guarantee, but if you're in a bind, it's worth a shot. Airport employees know there's a mountain of forgotten stuff sitting in their drawers, and as long as you're not trying to walk off with it, many of them are surprisingly willing to help. Here's another tip. If you do lose something, follow up fast. Lost and found departments are often separated by airline and terminal, and items move quickly. The sooner you report it, the better your chances of getting it back. But even if you're not missing anything, you can still score temporary access to some essentials just by being aware that these resources exist. So, the next time you're stuck at an airport and running low on juice or sanity, don't just suffer. Head to Lost and Found and ask for what you need. The worst they can say is no. But more often than not, they'll say yes, and you'll walk away wondering why no one ever told you this before. 4. The airport food price trap they hope you'll swallow. Let's cut the fluff. Airport food prices are a flat-out scam. You're not paying $7.00 for that bottle of water, or $20.00 for a sad burger and fries because it's gourmet or organic. You're paying because the vendors are trapped under sky-high rent, tight security contracts, and greedy airport revenue-sharing deals. And instead of eating the cost, they pass it to you, the traveler who's tired, hungry, and has nowhere else to go. Don't fall for it. Airports know you're a captive customer the second you pass through security. They use that moment of vulnerability to drain your wallet. Want a quick snack? That'll be $12.00. Craving a sandwich? Say goodbye to $15.00 and expect mediocrity at best. And forget beverages. $5.00 to $7.00 for a bottle of water is the norm. You'd get better value on a desert island. But here's the trick. You don't have to play their game. TSA allows you to bring food, yes, real food, through security. Solid snacks like sandwiches, fruits, protein bars, and wraps are all perfectly acceptable. Bring your own and skip the overpriced, underwhelming options that line every terminal. Another smart move? Eat on the plane. Believe it or not, in-flight meals or snacks are often cheaper than airport prices, especially when you use airline co-branded credit cards. JetBlue Plus, for instance, gives you 50% off in-flight food. United's card, 25% off. That's real savings, and you don't have to fight through airport crowds to get it. Bottom line, airports exploit your hunger and your haste. They know you'll pay more to avoid the hassle of packing snacks or waiting till after the flight. But if you plan ahead, you'll keep your money and your dignity intact. Skip the overpriced terminal trap and feed yourself on your own terms. 5. The lounge access lie. It's not just for the rich. Airport lounges are not some elite oasis reserved only for first-class snobs and frequent flyer royalty. That's just the myth the travel industry wants you to believe. Because as long as you think lounges are out of reach, you'll keep blowing cash on bad food, uncomfortable seating, and overpriced drinks in the terminal. Here's the truth. Lounge access is more within reach than ever, and most passengers have no idea how easily they could get in. Start with premium credit cards. The Amex Platinum and Chase Sapphire Reserve are two heavy hitters. Both offer extensive lounge access perks. Priority Pass, Centurion lounges, and airline-branded lounges are all fair game depending on your card. These cards may have a steep annual fee, but if you fly even a few times a year, the lounge benefits alone can pay for themselves. Don't have a fancy credit card? No problem. Many airlines let even mid-tier loyalty members into lounges, especially if you've racked up points or have status from past flights. You don't need to be top tier to enjoy the perks. Some terminals also offer lounge access for business class tickets on partner airlines, even if you're flying economy. And here's the kicker, you can often just buy your way in. Day passes are usually available for $30, 0 cents to $50, 0 cents. That might sound steep at first, until you compare it to terminal prices. One meal, one drink, and a snack in the airport will set you back about the same. But in the lounge, you get free food, drinks, Wi-Fi, clean restrooms, comfy chairs, and sometimes even showers and nap rooms. Even better, sites like Lounge Buddy and credit card portals often sell discounted lounge passes that can be purchased ahead of time. You don't need a first-class ticket. You just need to know where to look and plan smart. The truth is, lounges are one of the best-kept secrets in air travel. Stop believing they're off-limits and start using them to make your travel day 10 times easier. Otherwise, you're just paying more to sit at an uncomfortable gate surrounded by noise and overpriced snacks. 6. The psychological airport maze that manipulates you. Ever wonder why you feel drained, distracted, and oddly willing to spend more at the airport? It's not your imagination. It's by design. Airports are engineered down to the last seat and socket to squeeze as much money out of you as possible. And they do it with manipulative precision. Let's talk seating first. Ever notice that the most comfortable chairs aren't near your gate, but right in front of a high-end cafe or a duty-free shop? That's called revenue seating. Airports place cushy, inviting furniture where you'll feel more relaxed, and where you're more likely to buy a coffee, snack, or overpriced gadget while you wait. At your gate, it's metal benches and chaos. Then there's the placement of essentials. Need a charging station, water refill, restroom? Guess what? You've got to walk past 5 stores and 3 food courts to get there. That's not poor planning. That's strategy. Every detour is a chance for you to make an impulse purchase. Airports literally funnel your path to cross maximum retail exposure. And let's not forget one of the sneakiest tricks, delayed gate announcements. You ever notice how the gate for your flight isn't posted until the last possible moment? That's on purpose. The longer you wander the central terminal, the longer you're exposed to the most expensive shops and eateries. Once your gate is finally revealed, usually in a tucked-away corner, you're already full, broke, or both. So how do you fight back? First, be aware. Don't settle in the first comfy chair you see unless it's near your gate. Know where your essentials are before you start shopping. Bring your own snacks, water bottle, and charging gear so you don't get sucked into the overpriced airport trap. And if your gate isn't announced yet, sit near the departure screens, but keep your wallet in your bag. 7. Hidden freebies. Airports won't advertise, but you're already paying for. Let's be blunt. Airports are packed with free perks, but they go out of their way to keep them hidden. Why? Because the longer you stay uncomfortable, bored, and tired, the more likely you are to open your wallet. But guess what? You've already paid for these perks through your ticket fees, airport taxes, and security charges, so you might as well use them. Take yoga rooms, for example. Airports like San Francisco, SFO, Chicago, O'Hare, and Dallas-Fort Worth, DFW, have quiet, fully equipped yoga and meditation rooms open to all passengers, no charge. But do they announce them on the loudspeaker? Nope. Do you see signs pointing the way? Rarely. You have to know they exist and go looking. These are perfect spaces to stretch, relax, or just find peace before a long flight. Some airports, like Portland International, PDX, even have mini movie theaters where you can watch short films or local features completely free. Miami and San Francisco airports host rotating art exhibits and mini museums tucked into corridors you'd only find if you were seriously wandering. They're not doing this out of the kindness of their hearts. It's funded and pre-budgeted through airport operating costs. You're just not meant to know where to find them. Even more valuable are quiet rooms, interfaith prayer spaces, and occasionally free massage chairs like those at Singapore Changi Airport. Yes, massage chairs you don't have to pay for. There are also play areas for kids in many major airports, but again, they're hidden, like treasure chests in a video game. Need water? Most airports have bottle refill stations, but they're often shoved behind food courts or near restrooms to make you give up and just buy a $6 0-cent water bottle instead. Stop playing their game. Bring an empty bottle and fill it up once you're inside. Pro tip, use websites like sleepinginairports.net to scout amenities in advance. They have maps, tips, and real traveler reviews that reveal every hidden perk your terminal has to offer. Stop settling for hard chairs, overpriced snacks, and noisy gate areas. There's a calmer, better-equipped side of the airport, if you know where to look. 8. The real reason your flight is delayed and why they'll never tell you. Airlines love to blame weather, maintenance, or traffic for delays. But here's the truth most passengers never hear. It's often about airport slots. These are specific takeoff and landing windows allocated to each airline at congested airports. And if your airline has bad slots, you're flying second class, no matter what your ticket says. Airports like London Heathrow, JFK, or LAX operate on slot systems because they handle more flights than their runways can efficiently support. Airlines with priority slots, usually the big dogs like British Airways or Delta at their home airports, get first dibs. When disruptions happen, it's the smaller carriers or those with weaker slot allocations that get pushed down the queue. That means your flight gets delayed not because of anything technical or natural, but because your airline simply doesn't have enough clout. This also explains why you can sit on a runway for 45 minutes without moving while other planes are taking off. Your pilot isn't incompetent. Your airline just doesn't own the right slot for that time window. Want to avoid this nonsense? Fly with airlines that dominate the airport. JetBlue at JFK, United at Newark, Delta at Atlanta, or British Airways at Heathrow. They have more slots and better backup plans. When something goes wrong, they're first in line to recover. You? Not so much. Booking with a lesser-known airline might save you $20, 0 cents, but it could cost you hours of sitting around in limbo while they wait for clearance. And don't expect transparency. Airlines rarely admit when they've been delayed due to slot limitations. They'll just feed you vague excuses about air traffic control or gate availability. If you value your time, book smarter. Research which airline owns the airport turf you're flying into or out of. It's not flashy advice, but it's brutally effective. 9. Airport theft is real, and they hope you stay distracted. Airports are supposed to feel secure, but here's a dirty little truth. Theft happens constantly, even in the most heavily surveilled terminals. And sometimes it's not random thieves you need to worry about. It's the people wearing badges. Case in point, Miami International Airport. TSA agents were caught on camera stealing over $600, 0 cents, from a passenger's wallet during screening. Yes, the very people trusted to handle your belongings were dipping into pockets and bags. If you think that's an isolated incident, think again. Similar stories pop up around the world, quietly brushed aside, with victims rarely getting full compensation. And it's not just at security checkpoints. Baggage handlers have also been busted, lifting high-end items, watches, electronics, designer cologne, from checked bags. Luggage gets tossed, unzipped, rifled through, and sealed back up without anyone being the wiser, unless you open your suitcase later and realize something's gone. So how do you protect yourself? First, keep all valuables in your carry-on. That means cash, jewelry, electronics, passports, medication, anything you can't afford to lose. Don't ever pack them in checked luggage, no matter how convenient it feels. Second, watch your stuff like a hawk during security. Don't get distracted by the scanner or walk away from your bin to put on your shoes. That's prime theft time. If you're traveling alone, ask to have your bag sent through only when you're ready to walk through the scanner right after it. Third, use TSA-approved locks on your checked luggage. They're not foolproof, but they add a layer of deterrence, and if something does go missing, report it immediately. The longer you wait, the harder it is to prove. Most airports have a very narrow window for investigating claims. Airports are chaotic by design. That chaos makes it easier for dishonest people to operate in plain sight. Don't assume everyone in uniform is on your side. Stay alert, stay smart, and don't make it easy for anyone to walk away with your stuff. 10. Your lost items are probably for sale right now. Here's a cold reality no airline wants to admit. If you lose something valuable at the airport, odds are it's never coming back, not because it disappeared into thin air, but because it's already been cleaned, tagged, and sold. That's right. Your lost headphones, designer sunglasses, or even your iPad may be sitting in a bin at an auction house or resale store as we speak. Airports and the TSA follow a strict, quiet policy. If an item is unclaimed for about 30 days, it's considered abandoned and gets handed over for liquidation. TSA confiscated items, like pocket knives, tools, scissors, and even electronics, are sold off in bulk through public auctions. The most famous resale destination? The Unclaimed Baggage Center in Alabama, a massive warehouse turned store where thousands of lost or unclaimed items are resold every day. Your AirPods, favorite jacket, or vintage camera? It might be on sale there right now. Don't expect the airport to work overtime trying to reunite you with your stuff. Lost and found departments are overwhelmed and under-incentivized. If you don't report your lost item quickly and keep following up, it'll disappear into the system and eventually into the hands of a bargain hunter. What can you do? First, act fast. As soon as you realize something is missing, contact both the airline and airport lost and found. Many airports have separate offices for different terminals and carriers. Don't stop until you've tried every one. Second, be specific. Vague reports like lost headphones won't help. Say, black Bose QC35-2 headphones in a gray case left at gate B12 around 10:30 a.m. Give dates, times, brand names, and contact info. And finally, understand that if you don't recover it in time, your loss becomes their gain. Airports and resellers make money off forgotten or confiscated belongings, so the system isn't designed to prioritize getting it back to you. It's not fair, but it's the truth. In the airport world, one person's loss is another company's inventory. Don't let your stuff become part of the next liquidation sale. Be vigilant, move fast, and never assume your items are safe once they're out of your hands.